Matthaios loathes the idea of treading through the patches of bloodvein mold. He knows how its toxic spores can make a person gravely ill, but he also loathes the idea of turning back. He has come so far, he must be nearing the shrine of the Scaled Oracle now. He has about a full day and a half before Bastus will seek him out. He draws the vial of antitoxin and raises it to his lips. The liquid tastes chalky and sour, and leaves a film in his throat. He wraps the headscarf he had found previously over his nose and mouth. Even though the mold spores do not rely upon being inhaled, he would rather not breathe them in. He steels his nerves and makes a run for it. He sprints into the chamber. Crimson strands squish beneath his sandals. As he speeds across the floor, the noxious spores seize upon him. A cloying sensation rings at his body, but he continues his charge. He climbs up the steps as fast as he can manage, fighting through the minuscule clouds of spores kicking up all about him like sprays of fine, bloody mist. Thus far, he has withstood the poisonous mold. He finishes the last stretch of the stairway, hurtles across the upper landing, and reaches the heavy stone door. His fortitude holds strong, bolstered by the draft of antitoxin. He puts all his muscle into the door and heaves it open. On the other side is a long corridor that ends with an ascending stairway that leads to a huge, ornate door. Matthaios flings himself into the corridor, which seems to be clear. His exertion calms, and he slows down to a jog, then to a complete rest. He throws off the scarf and puts his hands behind his head. His pulse is racing, and his breath comes in heavy gasps. He looks at his arms and his body, flecked with the minute spatterings of the spores. He does what he can to wipe himself clean. Other than a slight nagging discomfort throughout, he has suffered no adverse effects from the deadly mold. He proceeds forward, goes up the new stairway, and opens the intricate brass-gilded door. Inside is a massive shrine space with a ceiling that reaches to 100 feet or more. The pillared sanctum is cast in a ruddy duskiness. A great stained glass window with snaking latticework is set into the far wall, and the sunlight comes diffused through the thick amber panes. Atop a stepped dais are serpent statues, raised braziers, and an elaborate stone seat with a back that rises up taller than 3 men. Seated there is the Scaled Oracle. Her entire body, skin, robes, and all, are colored like patina brass and bronze. She wears a headpiece fashioned in the likeness of a serpent's head, which rests upon the bridge of her nose and covers her eyes. The eyes of the snake helm glint like emeralds by the brazier flames. She stands and stretches out her arms in greeting.
Welcome, Matthaios Starkrax.
I greet you well, O Oracle.
You have won through many ordeals to reach this place. Your cunning and your spirit are extraordinary. Tell me, why do you believe the serpent chose you to enter the trials?
The priests of my garden claim that such things are a mystery, and that living men can never grasp them. Bastus, the Icoriite, claimed that the serpent wished for my death.
That was not my question, Neophyte. Why do you believe the serpent chose you to enter the trials?
Well, it was to forge me into a true warrior, such that I might defend my people. The oracle gazes at Matthaios, as though searching through him with piercing snake eyes. This causes him to search his own intuition. It is as though he stares into a vast and inscrutable fog. The answer, whatever else it might be, eludes him.
What is the name of the world?
The name of the world. The world's name was lost in the parting of the veil. Was I supposed to have uncovered this secret throughout the trials? I must have missed something. The name of the world is unknown still, though if you would tell it to me, wise one, it would be a great honor.
That is not meant to be this day. Put down your weapons and doff your dressings of battle.
The oracle moves with a certain agile grace, slinking and floating to the side of the dais. She prepares a bowl of water and tosses resins into the braziers, making them puff with spicy incense smoke. She comes down the dais steps with the bowl to Matthaios, now relieved of his armor, weapons, and heavy pack. At the behest of the oracle, he washes his face, hands, and feet in the water and dries with an embroidered towel. The snake woman then produces a small jar of sacred oil and anoints the neophyte upon his heart, his temples, between his eyes.
Come now.
Having consecrated the young man, she leads him up onto the dais, amid the rising trails of holy smoke.
Give me your hands.
Matthaios puts his right hand into her palms. She raises it to her lips and bites. 2 viper-like fangs extend, piercing painfully into the top of his hand. He instinctively recoils, but she holds the grip. For a split second, he is certain that he can overpower her, but the venom spreads quickly through his arms and into his body. What is this? The words hardly escape his mouth before paralysis overtakes him. The smoky shrine becomes a blur. His consciousness falls out for some time, perhaps hours, days, perhaps only a moment. Through the haze, he finds himself walking within the great labyrinth at night. Nebulae of fantastic hues swirl from the mists of the ground to the farthest impossible heights. Matthaios half walks, half floats through the maze, with its soaring walls and stone holds lurching at off-kilter angles. Latticed light patterns paint their sides, and his side as well, as though dawn or dusk through the window of the scaled oracle's sanctum. Lights and sounds of bewildering aspect flare within the unknown depths of the labyrinth, and motes of fervent luminescence lift from the fog to urge the neophyte. Above it all, in the distant reaches of the slowly roiling sky, is the 7th star. Against all that is madness and all that is terror, it shines, aloft and constant, brilliant in its beacon, signaling hope and life, and something that transcends the never-ending maze. The warrior ceases his wandering and stands, affixed upon the gleaming star. Its light expands, spreading in beams both vertically and horizontally. From its great glow descends an eagle on a shaft of radiance. Upon the light it flies, and through it the light shines. It comes unto the young man, filling him with its celestial flare. Then it speaks, its voice stronger than thunder, and yet gentler than a mother's caress. Matthaios, Matthaios. Dread lays hold upon you, and leaves you preoccupied with many things. Yet there is only one necessity. You need only follow my light. Listen, trust, do not lose sight. This will guide you. This will give you a foundation upon which to stand and wage your battle. In the end, the serpent shall be cast down, for many are his coils, and wicked. Surely they lead unto destruction, and will shatter you into countless fragments. Heed my word, Matthaios. My favor is with you, and I shall illuminate the path that leads to life." The beaming radiance dispels 3 swaths of the multicolored mists. 3 visages of Matthaios appear, though all belong to the same blessed path. 3 archways of the same righteous gate. The first instance of Matthaios shows a star at the hilt of his weapon, filling it with its power. The second version of Matthaios has a holy symbol of a glowing star. The third visage of Matthaios has the star set upon his brow, with the eagle flying just overhead.